makes you want to be like, what? Like, wait, the Invader Zim video?
Speak up.
You remember when I sent you the Invader Zim video where he's like, what? You should go to the what?
That was so
what?
funny.
You're gonna have to speak up! You won't get away with this! What? You won't get away! What? You won't get away! What? You won't get away! What? You won't!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 25 of Your Internet Sisters. We are so glad you are here. I'm going to have us jump right on in to our question of the day. So I saw a clip of a podcast that I don't watch, but I really enjoyed the clip, and I'll credit it below if you want to dive in and explore. And then there was a group of guys, and one of them asked something along the lines of like, would you rather fight Batman once a year or the Powerpuff Girls like every month or something like that? And unanimously, people were like, Batman. Because they're like, the Powerpuff Girls broke into jail to fight Mojo Jojo.
The Powerpuff Girls every day for a year or fight Batman once a year for 10 years?
You're getting your ass beat.
Batman, the nigga who's not a superhero.
Because Batman is nothing.
3 superheroes and
Bubbles.
one nigga that does Tybo.
Angry Bubbles.
Bubbles gonna fight
Batman.
Why? Just that one? One won't kill me.
That's a very easy thing to do.
But that one time that year, bro.
He's a human.
Yeah, he's a human.
Yeah, he's not fighting better than Powerpuff Girls.
3
First off,
superheroes.
every year I'm training to fight back. So
fight Batman?
Fight back?
I'm just gonna sit there just get my ass beat. No, I'm gonna try.
You know why this is a discussion? You have a choice between fighting one human person or 3 super people.
That one human person gonna feel like them 3 little girls over
No,
getting his
he's
fucking
not.
hands on you.
This is my problem with Batman.
No, don't group Batman to his idiocy.
No,
Don't group Batman
that's
to
true.
his idiocy.
That's true, because that's wild.
And as I thought about it, I was like, yeah, because like I feel like Batman just wanted you off the streets. Powerpuff Girls like beat you until there's like a crater in the ground. It's like your body's just like... And they have superpowers, and Batman does not. He just has like skills and wealth and tools. And so it was a really good, like the video was just as funny as the comments below. People like nobody chose. Nobody chose the Powerpuff Girls. They're like, I do not want that smoke. Absolutely not. So since we are not fighters on this channel, I'm not a pacifist. I'm just objectively bad at fighting. But I have prepared some questions for you to answer, Nicole, with some verses. All right. So I got a couple verses. Some are people, some are not.
Okay. Oh Jesus. I already know. Oh Lord.
So it's just three different verses.
Okay.
So the question is, who is winning in a fight? Okay. First matchup. This is a layup. Professor X versus Magneto in their oldest form. So we've seen this matchup.
What do you mean by in their oldest form?
Like there's a time where Professor X is not in a chair, and there's a time where he is in a chair. But like the power that he unlocks, like once paralysis enters his life and like he changes a lot of his perspectives, that's one thing. But Magneto is Magneto. So like in their oldest form. Not fine, James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. I love
Michael Fassbender. Come on, white man.
That's my favorite matchup. But in their oldest form, who's winning? Professor X or Magneto? Hands.
I don't. You think this is a layup? Because I don't.
I do.
Who do you? Okay, let's say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Professor X. Magneto always folds because Professor X is like, remember who you are. And but Magneto's like, fine.
if this is real life, I'm sorry. Magneto's taking it.
Yeah. All you have to do is like crumple things. But I mean, I guess.
Because of
if I'm
course
thinking of,
Professor
like,
X has to win because good has to prevail.
I guess. But yeah, I guess, yeah. Bar for bar hands, I would probably say if it was me, I wouldn't want to be found on Magneto's bad side. Where I feel like Professor X
No.
is like, because Magneto functions from a place of like anger, which isn't sustainable, but it's effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Professor X is a little bit more merciful. Like he's gonna give you a chance to sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
Where Magneto is like, no,
Hands immediately. I love the scene, and I think it's First Class. Where we see his origins. And he goes to Argentina and finds all those Nazis just like chilling at the bar.
Right, because they had escaped Germany and thought they was gonna get away with it.
It's so good. It's
So
good.
good,
Turtleneck
bro.
Fassbender really is nothing to play with. Nothing to play with.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh Jesus. Okay, the next matchup. Who's winning in a fight?
We both got extracted.
Oh, you need to see him in Jane Eyre too. He's really good in Jane Eyre.
Oh, really? I think I
Yeah.
did see him in Jade Eyre.
So good.
That's the one with the house burned down or something?
I think the house does burn down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That single-handedly. I was so lucky to read classic literature in high school when the movies were coming out about it. It was like the 2010s where it was like,
you lucky duck.
oh, so good. So good.
Dang.
Okay. Who's winning in a fight? The Reese's cup in the pumpkin shape or the Reese's cup in the egg shape? The Halloween
Egg.
special or the egg? Really?
Egg.
Not more delicious. Who's winning in a fight? Who's winning in a fight?
Yeah, it's probably pumpkin.
It's the surface area, and the center of gravity is lower. So
we need to shut up.
I was like,
I
I was writing these out like, what?
The
what is
density and
that?
velocity of the.
Now I feel like Pumpkin Reese's got hands, but the egg is
He
more
got
delicious.
slow hands though.
It's like old head boxer versus like MMA fighter. You know,
Absolutely.
the boxer's gonna like pound for pound might just outdo you. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, the final one.
Okay.
Who's winning in a fight? Pascal from Tangled or Rufus from Kim Possible? Pascal
Who the
is
heck is
the
Pascal?
chameleon. Who the main guy keeps misnaming as like a frog and like a cricket.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Zachary Levi his whole career.
And the brain.
Yeah.
Pascal or who? What was
Or
the other one?
Rufus from Kim Possible. I don't even know the size ratio, if I'm being honest. Because in my head, I think Rufus may be taller, but chameleons in real life are huge. Pascal is drawn really tiny. Chameleons are not small.
And cute.
But we're not talking about chameleons. We're talking about Pascal.
Honestly, I think it's gonna be Pascal.
I
think that Rufus wasn't Rufus kind of dumb?
Ron was kind of dumb.
Pascal was so. I feel like Pascal was so
sassy.
sarcastic and
Very
like,
sassy.
very sassy.
Uh-oh. Your laugh echoed and then you disappeared into the abyss. Okay, you're back now. You're back.
Okay, so I think that what was I gonna say? I think that Pascal is like Pascal will win just based on words.
Pascal will hurt your feelings.
Yeah, Pascal's winning just on words. Rufus, I mean, he could probably bite you. I don't remember much about Rufus though. I just remember he was pink and naked.
He was a naked mole rat. He walked on 4 and 2 feet. Like I see him standing, but I feel like I see him scurrying as well. He would say words sometimes. When he talked, he wouldn't say full sentences, but he would be like, "Oh," like he would. He would say.
And Pascal, he wouldn't say nothing. It was just all eyes.
All eyes and hands. Yeah, I feel like pound for pound, I might say Rufus, but it might be like brute force. I feel like this is like a skilled, organized fight.
I'm done.
It might have to be Pascal. But Pascal's eye contact is nasty in some of the scenes in Tango.
Along with that horse in Tango was probably one of my favorite characters.
Definitely. That horse over the Mulan horse. The Mulan horse is more of like a straight man.
For
Then you
sure.
have like Mushu.
Yeah, he was close. That's a close
Yeah.
one. But that horse in Tango was
funny. Like the body language was like, horses should not be able to do this. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So funny, man.
Oh God. Okay, that's it. I'm glad that you enjoyed the verses. I was just very curious what you think about Reese Cups and animated creatures and X-Men.
So great. So great.
All right, it's time to put us on. What do you got to put us on to today?
Okay, I have 2 things.
Okay.
But both very different. And maybe I guess I'll have you choose. So one is a game.
Okay.
And the other one is a snack.
A game or a snack. Do you hear my neighbor's beater of a car trembling across the street? Do you hear that?
No.
Okay, as long as you don't hear it, I'm sorry. It's the loudest car. And a vehicle is a vehicle. Do what you got to do, but it's comically loud.
Gotta love that. Lord have mercy.
I've been there, man.
Yeah.
Snack or game? I think I want to do game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I somehow knew you would say that.
Yeah.
So this is a video game that I was first introduced to by watching Berlizzi.
Okay.
And then I got it for myself because I like games where, like, for some people, video games are not stressful.
Mm-hmm.
For me, they are.
Yeah.
So I have to find a game where there's no stakes.
Yeah, no chasing,
right?
no guns, no stakes, vibes.
Just vibes, okay? So I was first just this game really easy, made me laugh. And then I saw it come across when we were trying to figure out what to me and my husband were trying to figure out what to get. The Untitled Goose Game.
Oh my God.
It's so fun for me.
I'm so glad you got it. I've seen him play it, and I've seen him play it with his niece.
So funny. That game is so relaxing to me because the big part of it is like whenever you move on the screen, there's orchestration.
Yeah,
so like,
and then it slows down.
Yeah. It slows down. It's like piano.
Yes.
And then if you're like panicking,
oh my God.
And it's just like it's like a task list, right? You're a goose and you just
have to be a menace. You know what I'm saying? You're like ruining people's
You still have to
day.
be a menace, which I love, right? Because it literally is just like, here's your checklist that you do in this particular segment. Like, dress up the bust. Take the man's slipper, make a picnic, right? So you get an apple, so you have to like sneak and like get these things, like distract them with your honk, and then they're like stop. Yo, that game is so relaxing for me, and it's so simple and probably so incredibly boring for like 95% of the population.
Right, for people playing Call of Duty who were like trying to save America, the Untitled Goose Game is not gonna hit.
Not it.
Oh man,
Not
have you finished it yet, or are you still like in the middle of gameplay?
No, I'm still in the middle of it right now. My work schedule is not allowing me to live my best life at the moment. I'm just kidding. I'm living my best life.
I totally forgot about the freaking Untitled Goose Game. Isn't there a man that chases you at one point and Berlizzi like screamed
the entire
and scared the mess out of his niece?
Yeah, man popped up out of nowhere.
Scared. And she was like for real crying. It's like, I've been there. I've been scared to tears before.
He had to stop the game. Like, it scared me too. You want to keep going?
You
want some juice?
Trying to get the man's attention. Going down a little bit more. I can't see any. Oh! Sorry! Wait. Oh, sorry. It scared me too. It's okay. I'm sorry. Come on, let's beat this guy. It's totally fine. It's not a scary game. It's not scary. We almost done. Come on. Take a sip of this Whataburger soda. Boy, get you a little sip of that. There you go. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump like that. Yeah, I was scared too. He got me too. I was like, he came up out of nowhere.
He said,
I was looking at the camera like
so bad. Oh, I'll put that clip in there because it is so good.
Yes.
Okay, Untitled Goose Game. I need to actually get it because I feel like it's a little older, and I could probably buy it without like having to sacrifice anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it might be included in the but that game it makes me so happy because I just can sit there. There's no stress, and I have something to do as a task. And I find myself doing the same thing that he was doing, where I was just like honking and also yelling at the same time,
Yes.
pushing the button like get out of the way. I'm constantly ask my husband. He's just in there
Oh my
like
god,
this woman.
it's so
He's
fun.
like, that's what I thought. That's why I stole your. That's why I stole your apple. That's why I stole your
Now
apple.
look at you.
So bad.
Oh, do you get to personalize your? You don't get to personalize your goose. It's just like white goose,
No.
with orange feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Cute little walk.
I love it, and the animation style is really like reminiscent. It almost feels like Oswald, like 2D, simple colors,
Mhm.
like very chill.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh,
Very.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's my put you on.
Okay, I'll link Untitled Goose Game below. It's so good. It's so good.
Yes.
I need to check it
Oh
out.
my
I need
God, I love
to.
it.
I need to get that. And I need to get Squirrel with a Gun because that just came out. Girl, I'll tell you how it goes.
What?
I'll tell you how
Okay.
it
Yes.
goes
Have
because
fun.
the cover
Have fun.
itself
Oh my.
is crazy. It's the squirrel. He has the gun in his hands, and he's like, it's the length of his body. So it's just like the gun is like shooting out from his face, and he's like running, and his hands are on the trigger. It's crazy. It's insane. But I think I'll start with Untitled Goose Game. The Squirrel with the Gun is like, it's a higher skill level that I don't have.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Okay, it is.
Gotta love it.
It's time for GeoNews. Not drumline. Oh, cadence. I need to rewatch Drumline. I feel like once a year I need to rewatch Drumline.
Right.
Okay.
What city did you have?
I had Manila, Philippines. And it's so crazy how I try to go to a website like in the language of what is spoken at the place and then translate the webpage, but it's always super messy. And then like my brain will think I'm reading Spanish and then it's Tagalog because they look real similar. And then I will have read a sentence and be like, what? I don't know what this says.
Wait a darn
tootin'. So I was like, I'm just gonna find something in English and hope for the best. Okay, I'm gonna read through this article. It's like disappointing but not surprising.
Oh no.
All right. Arrested Philippine televangelist confronted in the Senate by woman he's accused of sexually abusing.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. This was like a rolling thing because at first the articles that I saw were like accusation. Then it was like more accusation. Then it was like arrest. Then it was like trial. So I'm like, ooh, it's moving. So former followers of arrested Filipino televangelist confronted him in a Senate hearing on Wednesday, accusing him of abusing them by portraying the assaults as their religious duty to the appointed, quote, Son of God.
Yikes.
This man looks as you would anticipate. Balding, old, creepy. So it's his former followers of the arrested Filipino. Okay, I already read that part. His name is Filipino names are so hilarious. Apollo Carrion Quiboloy. Was brought to the Senate under heavy police security, denied the allegations from several women, including some from Ukraine as well as the Philippines. He challenged his accusers to file criminal complaints so he could face them in court. The 74-year-old preacher, 74-year-old preacher said he could not discuss his response because criminal charges were against him, including abusing women, human trafficking, were already being heard in 2 Philippine courts. Yulia Voronina told the Senate hearing through a video link from Ukraine that Quiboloy and his key aides allegedly forced her and other victims into agreeing to have relations with him through religious deception and coercion. Quote, they always use the Bible as an instrument to convince us to do it, she said. Adding at least 9 other Ukrainian women became members of Quiboloy's group, the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, raised in the southern Filipino city of Davao. Shout out to these folks who are being vocal and speaking up and not letting this continue. But like, what the heck? I just
Why does this keep
like
happening?
disappointing but not surprising. And it's so infuriating how people will use Jesus Christ in the Bible and just straight up manipulation to do horrible things to people. And so when people are so like anti-Christianity,
Yes.
I get it. Because so much horrible stuff has happened.
In the name of
and using that as a cloak. And so I hope that justice is
Right.
served. I'm so glad that these women are coming forward. The hard part is like it takes so long because like trauma functions differently and fear functions differently. And so people are like, well, why didn't she immediately say something? And it's like, that's how this works, bro.
Well, when it comes with that and that specifically, it's like you don't realize that you've been manipulated until long after sometimes.
Right.
It's like, wait a second.
And it takes other people telling their story for you to be like, hold up.
Like that happened to me too.
Like this is not this is not right. And so I just watched that that was one of the put me ons, or I think we just talked about it in our personal conversations about like that dance cult.
Yes.
Girl, like same energy as
You
that.
watched it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It took me forever though. I like slept on it and was like, crap, I need to keep starting this over. But yeah, so hopefully justice is served in that space. I hate that it had to get this far, but your 74-year-old self who do better. Keep an eye on one another. Just make sure you're being aware of like patterns, because what on earth? And these are just people we know about. There's a lot of people that we probably don't know about and we'll never know about. So that's like the first full English article I could find. I'm like, come on, man. Like I wanted to learn about like fruits and like I was trying to even look up fun facts about the Philippines, but I was like, I don't want to talk about colonization today because I feel like I'm always talking about that. So please bring us better news. Where was your city?
Okay, this one is very interesting to me. So I had Kiruna, Sweden.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So this was from June, so a couple of months ago. Okay. So it says, why this Arctic church in Sweden married 20 couples in 5 hours. And then the subtitle says, Kiruna's iconic church, and in fact the whole town, is in the process of being relocated. I was like, what? Okay, so it says, Kiruna is a small Arctic town in northern Sweden and home to one of the world's largest iron ore mines. Run by the state-owned company LKAB, it supplies about 80% of the European Union's iron ore supply. Okay? I was like, what? It's also poised to play a role in Europe's green technology future. So last year, LKAB announced that Kiruna's home, Kirunu, there it is. The Matrix is home to more than 1 million tons of rare earth elements. 1 million tons.
I can't even process that quantity.
Used in manufacturing of wind turbines and electric vehicles. But even before this discovery, the Kiruna mine had long been expanding and ramping up production, and its growth caused a land deformation that is cracking the foundations in local buildings and threatening to swallow up the town, girl.
That's something like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball. Like, what do you mean swallow the town?
As a result, an overwhelming majority of the town's residents voted a decade ago to relocate the entire community about 3 kilometers away, one building
Imagine
at a time.
caring about the citizens around you. Must be nice. It's must be nice to have that one accord. So like they voted 10 years ago to move
10 years ago.
Okay. And now they're
to relocate a whole town
to do that. That's a huge undertaking. Yeah.
Yeah. And literally the next sentence. The massive undertaking started 9 years ago and is expected to continue for years to come. Part of that relocation is moving the town's church in its entirety. The church will be taken apart piece by piece and rebuilt in the exact same way 3 kilometers to the east. Designed by architect Gustav Wickman and built between 1909 and 1912.
Wow. Okay.
The bright red building has long been a community hub in Kiruna and an architectural icon in Sweden. Wow. And then coming down, it says, Jatko, who is Sami, says it's hard to describe what the church means to her. She, her siblings, and all her children all had their confirmations there. She and Brenfall had been engaged for 3 years, but about 2.5 weeks ago, they had a conversation that forced them to speed their plans along. I said to Olaf that I want to marry in the church, and he said, "Have you not seen the advertisements in the paper?" The church she soon learned was about to close its doors to prepare for the big move. On Sunday, it held its final service, and it won't be open again for another 2.5 years in its new location.
Wow.
But on Friday, to bid adieu, it held a wedding blitz for all those who wanted to get married before the move. Jacko and Brainfall signed up and became the second couple of 20 to say their vows that day. CBC reached out to church leaders for comment, but the local vicar is on a much-needed vacation after a weekend of farewell ceremonies. Jacko, meanwhile, says she will visit the church again when it reopens, though she admits it won't be the same. She's glad they were able to make one final memory there before it closed its doors. Isn't that cool?
I would not know any couple getting married. I'd be at the function sobbing.
Like, who is this?
Oh my God.
Is she with them? No.
The one black person in like a 10-mile radius. Like, who is
Sweet.
and why is she crying? Oh my God.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That is
Just
so
thinking about
sweet.
Relocating an entire town. Right?
What do you keep?
Knowing it's gonna happen.
What do you demolish? What do you move? Like, what? How do you plan something like that? I mean, there are people for this, but like,
and they thought like this was a decade. They made this decision a decade ago.
Yeah, they've been cooking.
You know what I mean? Wow. So the forethought in that and the speed, I feel like they probably were like, nah, we got to do this.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're taking their time and moving things and build. Yeah, that I read that and I was like, whoa,
that's insane.
Like, whoa.
I wonder if there are churches, I can imagine there are graveyards. So like, I wonder if there's stuff that needs to stay that you just have to drive to visit versus like, okay, we can move this.
Yeah.
Wow. I want to see this church. You said it's a little red church?
Yeah, look it up. Mm-hmm. It's a red church. It is
red. I feel like it's going to come right up.
I'm sure you'll find it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Temporarily closed. I'm screaming. That's so sad. Not Google being up to date. Oh, that's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. Oh my God. Look at the windows. I would so want to get married here. Like, I bet the light on the inside is.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Also, shout out to them for making a decision for the community first. Because I feel like the U.S. will be like, oh, we have something that's going to be really important and profitable in the green space. Oh, let's upcharge for this before people access it.
Let's accidentally like hit a gas line. Oh, I'm so sorry, but like you all have to
right, like the baby or the adult baby in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, where he's like, uh-oh, he knocks over the wagon. That man, that character is just the embodiment of the United States. This giant man baby. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh man, have you seen the oldest church in the world? I think it's in Finland. Like the Vikings built it. It is the scariest looking building I've ever seen. Hold on. Tell me you wouldn't see this, and then people are like, welcome, come as you are. I'm like, no, thank you. Oldest church.
They're vampires here
in the world. It is the creepiest. Oh, okay, maybe it's not the oldest in the world. Oldest church in Finland? It's the oldest wooden church. I keep moving the barriers. I'm determined for you to see this scary. Here it is.
Hold on, let me see. I'm searching.
Here it is. Here it is. Okay.
Church in the world. Here we go.
It's called
images, please.
It's called
you
see what I'm saying? The Stave Church. Oh my God.
Spirits. It's the black one.
It looks like it's from, what is that? A series of unfortunate events. It looks like this is not real. There's no way that this is real.
That is terrifying.
Yeah. Imagine them being like, oh, you're like an old Nordic person and you just met somebody on the river or whatever. And they're like, I'm a part of this church and I think you would really love it. Like, everyone's super friendly. Like, they're very community based. Like, you should totally come visit. And you go to the address, you get to the door, and this is what you see.
You're like, oh, cool. So I'm going to be sacrificed here. Got it. That's what it looks like to me.
Like, it's beautiful. It's just like I can hear it creaking in the wind, you know.
Oh boy.
But it's one of the oldest churches on the
gosh,
planet, if I'm not mistaken. But
look at all the green around it.
it's gorgeous, but it just looks like
Jesus.
Lemony
Right at the
Snicket
base of
built
a
this
mountain.
church.
Straight up. It's giving lemony snicket.
It's like, what?
Yo, that's crazy.
I
That's
prefer the
crazy.
Corona church for sure. That gives like welcome instead of like enter if you dare.
You definitely get
But-
turned into a vampire. in that church.
Right. But I can't talk junk because in the US, I feel like modern churches are in like warehouses. Like the beauty of a
Yeah, they are.
church
It's not a thing anymore.
it's
all about space.
Yeah, it's all about
And
space
production.
and folding chairs and production. Like, can we shoot a movie in here? So
Mhm.
it's really beautiful. There's a meme. I think I'm on Catholic Instagram somehow. I don't know. And it was a meme of like when you bring your Protestant friend to your Catholic church, and it's Willem Dafoe, but the camera's like up here, and he's like looking up.
I feel like I know what shot that is.
It's the shot.
I feel like I know what shot. I don't know what movie it is, but I know what shot it is. Yeah, I know exactly. That's
exactly how it feels. It's like, what is this? It's beautiful.
Lord have
Oh,
mercy.
God. Okay, sorry. This GeoNews is probably
Yeah.
one of the longest. The longest in
Ay,
history.
ay, ay.
But
It's okay. It's okay.
I like
Did you do
more than
yours?
mine. I did. It was the horrible televangelist who needs justice to be served. Like, it was the opposite of wholesome.
Oh my gosh, this internet connection thing is driving me crazy.
Oh no. Hey y'all. Time has passed.
Time has passed.
We got like so deep into our episode that you probably just are in the middle of right now. And the internet immediately was like, no. So we were like, you know what?
That's exactly what happened. You know what?
Charged it. So our final piece of this conversation is going to be the same, but we just wanted to explain the clothes change and the
sudden
environment
outfit.
change.
Yep.
Yeah, because like you're not dumb. Like you we're not going to act like you didn't notice. So what I was trying to say a certain amount of time ago, that's a cool back scratcher.
Thanks.
Or head scratcher, whatever it is.
Back scratcher.
I would love to spend time reminiscing and talking about our journey and how real it was for us as kids playing with our Barbie dolls. So we had an array of dolls.
Mhm.
Like we had
Very
there
diverse.
was some that were like Barbie brand. Then we had like
Mhm.
My Scene dolls. Then we
Mhm.
had like Bratz. We had a couple Bratz. There were like Cali girls that I remember.
Yeah, well, he. Right.
And we also had like just the head. Remember the giant head, the hairdo head?
Oh my god.
But like that, she wasn't part of the universe though. It was just like
No.
another thing we had
I
because that's just
remember.
way too ginormous.
Mhm.
So what games do you remember that we used to play? Like what first comes to your mind when you think about us playing with dolls as kids?
Well, throwback to not even the season 1, but like before I was still living in Alabama, we did a whole little segment. Maybe you could insert it.
We read through the play.
Me and Faith wrote an entire theatrical for the stage play, featuring all of our Barbie dolls. Were a part of the cast. Some playing multiple parts. You know, they were that talented.
Yep. Double cast.
And double cast, yes. And it was it was our like new contemporary version of Romeo and Juliet, and it was called Richard and Julia because creativity.
Sure. And I remember when I think about how like cringy it was, my main memory is the physical setup. So in our living room, we grew up in like a 1970s split level home. So like you walk in, you can either go upstairs where the bedrooms are or downstairs where like the family room is. We had our music room. And so we had a sofa, and the sofa was like the main backdrop. And then we took a piano bench. That was the stage, which was way too small even then. It was tight in there.
Well, I mean, think of it. It was giving like Rent or like, yeah, because it was like a double. We could do acting underneath, and then
And
we
on
can have a
top.
scene change, and and there was a second level. We were innovative.
Innovation. We used them hot desk lamps to light. So that's I just remember it being hot. But it was worth it. It was for art. For art.
It was for art. You're right.
And I remember like we physically, like, I have the pages. We physically wrote down the play and like rehearsed our lines. Did we memorize them or did we just kind of read off the page? I feel like
we just kind of read off the page.
Yeah.
Either that or we straight up improvised.
Right. There was a lot of improvisation.
Improv.
And I remember just like we were crouched underneath the desk and like we had the scene changes. There was was there a sheet over the bench, or it was just the bench itself, wasn't it?
I think it was just the bench itself. Yeah. Yep.
And we would be there for, I don't know, time feels different when you're a kid, but I felt like we would be there for hours, like getting it right.
Had to be.
And the gag is, was there ever a final performance?
Nope. Who were we performing for? Oh,
Mom and Dad are not going to sit through that. They sat through a lot of our stuff.
They didn't.
They're not going to sit through that. So we really just rehearsed this thing down for what?
That's why I've always enjoyed the process of a musical and never the performance.
Yeah, like when the show comes, I'm just depressed. And then I'm like, oh, I don't get to see these people again. Like, we're not in creation mode anymore.
Right.
Oh, man. So I remember there were scenes where, like, you would give notes. Like, there were written notes in it. But then you would also verbally be like, you need to be more dramatic here. No, you need to slow down here. You need to speed up this line. There's a note passing scene.
Why was I so serious?
But it was fun though, because like I never felt bossed around, because like I also wanted it to be its best. And so it made perfect sense. Like, we need to run this again. This needs to be better.
Help me, Jesus.
And was the play, was it part of, because there was also like a high school storyline that we would play. I don't think it was part of that. It was just literally the play itself. Like, there was no backstage.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it was just the play.
They were just puppets. Like, they weren't really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's the play.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the jazz club. Do you remember the jazz club?
All I remember of jazz club is a red light. So speaking of these hot lights, I remember we changed the bulb to be red.
Yeah, we were eating. Dad should have given us that.
We had the Michael Bublé soundtrack. 2008. I don't know. I'm just making the things up, but it was Michael
Bublé. Earlier. It was probably like 5, 6, man.
Jeez, probably
had to have been.
And yeah, that's all I remember about the jazz club. I remember figure skating. Skating is a highlight of life.
Wait.
Speaking of the Michael Bublé soundtrack,
so I know jazz club. Fever. Jazz Club was the Big Bad Voodoo Daddy album. That went double platinum. Then Michael Bublé hit the scene, and then that's, I think, when we transitioned into the ice skating. And I had these bead curtains in my room. I could have sworn I was bohemian. I just couldn't keep it up though. So I had these bead curtains, and then one of them broke, as they do, because they were plastic bead curtains. And so we thought it would be a good idea to tie that strand, that it was like glass disco balls,
psychopath,
to like this part of the fan, so like the cord of the fan. No. Yeah,
no, it had to be. It had to. We didn't touch the fan.
It wasn't the propellers. Yeah, it wasn't the blades. Propellers. Yeah, we had a helicopter because we were so wealthy growing up. It's the same function.
Clean my fan propellers real quick.
You know what I'm talking about. It's a similar function. The blades.
Oh, propeller.
And we would then tie the Barbie doll's ankle to the string. And then that's the horror. That's what the Barbie doll sounded like when we would tie them up.
Just the inner scream.
The inner dialogue screaming. And we would just like push them. I'm sorry.
I like that was screaming.
Oh, and so we would, I guess, I don't think we would turn the fan on, but we would like literally push them around the room, like this strung out body. How would we score them?
Score?
Like, there was like a competition. I know it was like a competition for the theatrics of it all, but we wouldn't really score.
No, I don't think we really scored them.
They weren't even rehearsed routines. Like, we would just take the doll, slide them around.
Favorite is, we would score this though. We remember when we would hold them by the leg. We would throw them up. We call it the toe touch, okay? And see how
Oh my god.
How delicately, and like we had to, because we had to throw it just right. It had to be the right velocity,
The
trajectory.
velocity, and it couldn't be
torque.
too hard on the ceiling. It
Right.
had to be just right.
And we had to flip them just right so that when we threw them up, they would perfectly, and their toe would go on top of the ceiling and come back down. So we would score, whether some of them it wouldn't work very well, and they would just be boom. I'm like, God bless our parents. So we're upstairs just like, what are they doing? Why?
We were safe and we were home. Like, that's all.
Right?
The toe
Creativity.
touch. And
Toe
I
touch,
remember,
baby.
if you just imagine that on a human scale, that's the equivalent of like me going to Spectrum Center at the basketball team and jumping from the court
Jumping.
and my toe touching the ceiling of the arena. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. But I mean, it was always like a blast.
Yes.
And you don't really remember the last time that like, there was a time where we played and we never played again.
Yeah.
And you don't remember when that is.
that transition.
But I just remember the names we gave them as well was crazy.
Let's go back and forth. Let's go back and forth and see if we remember. You go first.
Okay. I got to start with Steve.
Dang it.
He had the neck brace because his neck broke. So we just had scotch tape, layers and layers of scotch tape.
Layers.
We would hit him by accident and then it would come loose. So we had to do another layer of scotch tape.
He was our only black dude. So it was like, we can't throw him away if it was racist.
Nah, yeah. That's like, you couldn't find those, especially then. You couldn't find those.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve.
Wasn't there Chelsea?
Yep. The
Okay.
redheaded Mycene doll.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I'm gonna do one, and you immediately got to say the next one because they're a pair.
Oh, okay.
Alyssa.
That's what I was gonna say. Alyssa, though.
You know the other one? I can take the other one.
I was gonna say Aquamarine, but that doesn't feel right.
No, it's more racist than that. It was Yusai Khan and Alyssa. I don't know where we got the name from. I know that we wouldn't just recklessly do that. Like, there had to be some type of research, and we had a computer in the house by then. But because there were two Asian dolls,
Because
they came in like the stereotypical, like the ones that the white girls would wear in the early 2000s with like the collar and they came in those outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And so they weren't even exchange students; they were just Asian.
Yusai Khan. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what in the world?
And we thought we ate with it too. We were like, yeah, this is it. This is diversity. We did it, guys. We did it. Yusai Khan and Alyssa.
Mm-hmm.
It's my turn again. Who?
We had so many, and I can't remember any of them.
Didn't we have a Richard? Like a real, like the white doll? Wasn't his real name Richard as well?
Why did we name him Richard? Old person name.
Steve and Richard.
Like, what?
Men and boys were just not on our radar, so we're like, I don't know.
No.
I want to hear what I hear on TV.
Jack.
There was no Barbie. Like, we immediately threw that name out. We didn't.
Yeah. I don't remember any of the other ones. That's crazy. Because we had several. We had Jade.
Yes, and Sasha. We kept the brats' names.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we just kept them.
There was one doll that looked just like Adrienne Bailon, and I forgot what we called her. She looked just like her.
Yo. Yes, Ace, sing it.
Hi, Ace.
We hear Brock. He's here. They love to sing together. It's a very nice pair.
So freaking cute.
They're adorable.
Oh,
anyway,
God.
sorry. Yeah,
Sorry.
no, it was a very fun time.
It was just a blast.
Those are like those are the key things that stick in my head is the like you said, the jazz club, Richard and Julia, and the figure skating. Yeah. Which we didn't, it's not like we watched, like neither one of us were like, oh, ice skating's on TV.
That was never. We knew Christy Yamaguchi and Michelle Kwan. Those are the two ice skaters that every
Yusai
black
Khan.
person knows. Yusai Khan and Alyssa. That's all we knew. We knew that they were eating. We knew that they were iconic, but we didn't even watch ice skating like that.
No, that was just what we did.
I think it also got ushered in by like the computer age. Because you remember that Barbie gymnastics game?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely.
I need to find it. I need to find like a beta version, or like I'll even buy a CD-ROM. I wouldn't know where to put it.
Yeah.
But like that game
lit.
was fire. You got to choose your uniform.
Christy.
Christy.
She was the black one.
She was the black. She was married to Steve.
Yep.
Because black people always go together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Christy was a Barbie. Like she had that Barbie face. Like she was definitely Barbie line.
For sure. I don't know why that came to my head.
She was brown skin too.
Yeah, beautiful.
So
gymnastics, for some reason, it came to my mind when we was talking about gymnastics. I don't know.
Oh man,
she was one of them.
A blast. She was one of them. Like they had. There's always the blonde white, the brown hair white,
and then the
black,
Asian,
and then the Asian.
Yep, it was those
that's
three
the combo.
They were in the gymnastics video.
Oh man, yeah. Computer games, I think, was also it ushered us into like kids in general stopped playing with dolls because we had these computer games. We played Zumbinis. Like a logic game, Treasure Mouse Storm from my Hear Me Out with the elf in the cave.
I still don't want to talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. I was like, who? Child.
Club Penguin. Were you a Club Penguin kid?
That was more so you.
Yeah, I think you might have been too old for Club Penguin.
Yeah,
it would have been very boring too. I tore it up.
Mm-hmm.
Tore up Club
I thought it was
Penguin.
cute though. I thought they were so cute all around the different colors.
And you could get a pet. You get a little puffin as like your pet and walk around with the puffin.
Yeah.
I had a job. I worked at the pizza shop.
Adorable.
Oh my god. Well, you guys have to tell us what you used to do as kids. That was like cringy, but still gives you like a warm buzz. Like, were you outdoor playing sports with kids in the neighborhood? Kids? Were you like we were definitely indoor kids in our house.
Still am.
I still am an indoor person in my own house. But yeah, so that was just I like reminiscing on that stuff because like you can't let those memories die. And there's no picture evidence either. There's none. There's no pictures.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's gone forever. It's just it lives on in our memory. But eventually we got to react to some of our old VHS tips because we did record music videos, and oh boy,
I'm so sorry.
It's coming. Maybe we'll do like a Christmas special or something. It's reckless. It's reckless
shenanigans.
All right, you want to close this out, Nicole?
Yes, I shall. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us through the technical difficulties, and we hope you enjoyed everything thus far. Even though y'all stay safe out here in these streets. This segment is recorded post-election results.
Yeah.
Stay safe in these streets. Be nice to people.
Yeah. And get some rest.
Because
we're going to need it. Charge up. Charge up,
baby.
Bye. Bye.